Hello and welcome to another episode of Voices of SUP, where we chat to some inspirational people in the stand-up paddling community. Now remember, if you're not a pro subscriber on SUPboarder Magazine, head over to SUPboardermag.com, get yourself on the subscription list so you're able to access the extended video and also the pro tips from our Voices of SUP. Let's get into introducing our guest today. She's a really good friend of mine. I'm very excited to have her here on Voices of SUP. She's the 2017 World Champion on the APP World Tour for racing. She was the overall champion on the APP World Tour for surfing and the racing in 2018. She's a three-time Molokai to Oahu Champion, a winner of the Red Bull Heavy Water event. She has national titles in Australia for marathon racing and SUP surfing, with numerous state title wins as well. She was a lifeguard, now a firefighter, and soon-to-be mum, one of the nicest people in the world and a general ocean enthusiast. Let's find out more about our Voice of SUP today. It's Terrene Black. How do you describe yourself?
Yeah, I guess I'm just a down-to-earth girl. I'm pretty normal. I mean, I guess, yeah, I do describe myself as being a bit of a water woman, and I just love to get out in the water, but I also love to get out in nature and just to stay healthy. And I mean, I'm not just a SUP paddler. I like to, get out in the water and all sorts of craft. Been doing a lot of shortboarding lately, and longboarding and swimming and just, different paddle sports. Oh, I'm pretty normal. I just go to work and try and earn some money, and just so I can get away and travel. Anyone can do what I'm doing, and I definitely had a big life change. After I got into SUP paddling, and decided I wanted to pursue more with my life, and this is where I've ended up.
Oh, nice. That's cool. So, you definitely embody all of those things. And we've known each other for quite a few years, since really the early days of SUP. I think we met through a mutual friend, Will and Anita.
Yep.
We were both on C4s back then.
Yes.
Yeah, way back then.
I was thinking about that because my first ever competition was New South Wales state titles, and you were there ripping. I don't know if you remember, but the waves were pumping up at Port Stephens, and you were just charging. You were the ultimate power surfer, and I even remember you busting an air in the final, and it was just that. And that was so long ago, and you're way ahead of everyone. But that was where my love really started. But Will Anadu, he introduced me to the sport for sure. And once I had a few goes, I just had to buy one of those boards myself and convince my sister to go halves. And it was a C4 Subvector, 9'6". It was a big beast of a thing, but it could catch anything. And it was so much fun, and I was just out there every day. And went and competed at the state titles. Borrowed a couple of boards. Borrowed a board for the SUP, the technical race, and it was in epic waves. And that's where it all really began. I thought, this is my kind of sport. And you got surfing and racing all in one, and great vibe. Like how cool is everyone in the supping community? So definitely.
And say for me, that event was like a real standout for me as well. That was definitely where I think a lot of people were pushing the level, and it was starting to become a known sport, that it was going to be around for quite a while, and that people really wanted to be a part of it. So, which is really cool. But did Will also introduce you to downwinding?
Yeah, he sure did. Although I can't say that he was the one who took me on my first proper downwinder. I mean, we did a few ocean ones with him, and it wasn't ideal wind, and I probably wasn't on the best board, and I just remember going, oh my God, like, this is horrible. Like, I'd catch maybe one or two rudders the whole way, and at the end, like after an hour or two of paddling, going, oh yeah, I got the little runner out of Crackneck, and that was about it. And then I had to get on my knees and get back out to sea. But my first proper downwinder was in Tuggerah Lake, actually, in the lake, and it must have been 30 or 40 knot winds, and this guy who's right into wind sports, Rod Heinsohn, he was a starboard rep for ages, so a lot of people know Rod, but he probably took me on my first proper downwinder, and it was in Tuggerah Lake, and it was epic. I was just standing there, just surfing, going, oh my God, this is what it's all about. Like, I was just frothing. And after that, I did so many lake downwinders. And then once I was better, I was back out in the ocean and figured out what the best wind directions were for out in the ocean. And yeah, and then it all went from there for sure.
From starting in Tuggerah Lake, you then went on to win the Molokai to Oahu within a year or two.
So I'd been in the sport a little bit, and yeah, Will was doing his second Molokai, I think, and after he completed it, I was just inspired, and I thought, yeah, next year I'm going to do that race, and I pretty much trained all year to do it. And I did my first crossing in 2012, and that year the conditions were epic, and I guess I always have that memory of the race, like being like that. It was epic winds. It was gnarly, and my dad was on the boat for the crossing, and he didn't know why I was doing this race, because I had always been a sprinter. Just I was a nipperboard paddler sprinter, and yeah, he didn't know why I was doing this race. It was going to take 5 or 6 hours, but anyway, he soon realised why I loved it, because yeah, it was the downwinding, and it was just a lot of little short sprints and surfing the whole way, and and that was amazing that year. And I did it in 5 hours 18, and I thought, yeah, next year I'm going to try and break 5 hours, and I didn't break 5 hours until last year.
Wow.
So it was such a good year that first year, and I've done, one year took me 6 hours 40. It was flat and horrible, but yeah, last year would have been the best conditions I've ever had. I think it was much more groomed, and we had really good current. But I couldn't believe, like, it was like an epic downwinder. I couldn't believe how long a rides I was getting, and all the way as well. Yeah, it was amazing, and I really needed it last year, because I wasn't going into it as prepared as I should have been. Because I'd been at the Fire and Rescue Academy for how long was that? 4 or 5 months, and I wasn't able to train very much, but so I went there, and it really all come down to experience last year, and had a board I was really comfortable on, a good board, and bumps were just amazing, and yeah, I was just fit enough, and yeah, I don't think I could have done it any quicker.
You've always seemed so comfortable in the waves, be it downwinding or SUP surfing. You mentioned you were a part of like the surf lifesaving clubs, but did your dad surf? Did he get you into surfing, or did it all come from that surf lifesaving?
Yeah, Dad was a surfer back in the day. It's hard to get him out there these days, but I had to convince him to get me my first surfboard, but he got me into nippers before that, yeah, and I just used to stand up on my nipper board and do all that, and I convinced him to get me a surfboard. And I lived so close to the ocean, so I was down there every day. Yeah.
You won the Australian SUP surfing title, and you did the overall win for the surfing and racing on the APP World Tour. What was your motivation for that? Do you set goals to stimulate your motivation?
Yeah, for sure. You have to set those goals. It's been initially my first few years of racing. Yeah, I still wanted to surf, but I found it really hard to juggle both. I looked at some of the young guys that were doing both racing and surfing, and I was like, how can they manage to do it all? And yeah, as time went by, a lot of them did just either go to racing or surfing, or some of them still do both. But I guess it wasn't till later on that I was like, I've always been a surfer, but it's hard to focus on the surfing side. And I guess these last few years, I've been out, I can manage my training a lot better now. I probably don't train as much as I used to, and yeah, I can fit in a few more surfs now. And definitely being fit, and race fit helps your surfing as well, as long as you can find the time to get out there and surf. And it does help your racing as well. Helps you mentally, and just being out in the water more keeps you fit. And it's just good for the mind and the body. And I know, to win an Australian title was really surprising. We've got Shaq here, and I just don't think she quite got the waves. I just managed to pick the right waves, and got an Aussie title win, which was a surprise. And the APP overall world title was really cool. That sounded good. But I mean, I still find it very hard to get a good result in surfing events.
It's just like, luck, isn't it? Luck.
Some days super comfortable and relaxed, and all the waves come your way, and you're like, oh, that was easy. And then the next time, can't dial a wave at all, and you just can't stay on your feet.
No, exactly. Do you feel like you have some sort of control over the racing side of it, and that you know what you're training for, and that you know that, okay, these certain races are suited to certain conditions?
I mean, you never know what the conditions are going to be like on race day, but you do have a fair idea if going off past experience, and you do train for particular races, for sure. Like, if you're doing a technical race, you'll just go and try and replicate that style of technical race in those style of conditions. And for Molokai, I'll do a lot of big distance paddles, and I'll try and aim for big wind days, and do a lot of paddling around headlands where the water's really rough. And you try and replicate those conditions the best you can. And
with your training schedule, do you do a lot of just on the water training, just getting out on the water, or do you do a bit of gym work as well?
Most stuff is on the water. My first few years I did do a lot of gym work, and then I think it really benefited me. It taught me a lot about how to move my body and stuff. But the last few years I discovered, when I dropped off doing those gym sessions that were brutal, and I felt better for my paddle training, and I was having better paddle sessions and more effective paddle sessions, and I think I got quicker. And so a lot of the stuff I do on land, it's just maintenance things, like what my physio would prescribe for me. I do a lot of stuff like band work, balance stuff, and I'd just be strengthening any muscle weaknesses, and then also just improving my cardio. So running and bike riding, swimming. So not too much in the gym the last couple of years, and it actually benefited me.
We'll move on to something a bit different. Now, there's been a big shift recently toward, environmentalism becoming more sustainable. Are you playing a part in that, or what are you doing to create a more sustainable way of life?
I've always had that attitude. I've always been a bit of an environmentalist at heart, and I guess we're more aware of it being surfers and being at the beach every day. And at home we have this Take 3 initiative, and I guess I was an advocate of that back in the early days. And that's a simple thing that you can do every day. Is when you walk off the beach, you can pick up 3 pieces of rubbish. I mean, I normally pick up a lot more depending what I walk past, but I just remind myself that even the little things count. Like, if everyone did something little, like picked up rubbish when you took your dog for a walk. If whenever I'm walking my dog down the beach, on the way back I pick up everything on the way back. And if everyone's doing that, and it's really positive to see the changes in young kids these days. Like, there's a new generation coming through, and they're much more aware of what's happening to the world, and so that's really positive. But thanks to social media and stuff, I feel like just me being out there all the time, it's a good platform to just expose people to the beauty of Mother Nature, but then also just show them, what's happening out there as well. And if you're just encouraging more people out into the water, it's another person that's out there to enjoy how beautiful our planet can be, but also how destructive humans are. So I think there's just a change in view that's happening all around the world, and that's great. I just hope that a big change happens in time before it's too late. So
it's amazing, the Take 3 initiative. I think it's Take 3 for the Sea, is it?
Yeah.
My grandma does that every day, and she lives out at Norah Head, and she goes down the beach every morning on a walk, and she'll pick up trash. And she started with just 3 bits, and now she'll just pick up whatever she sees. And I think it's really gone. I think a lot of people have really taken on to that, which is nice.
Oh, it makes you feel great afterwards. Like, you can think, oh, that's going to be annoying, I'm going to be carrying it. But man, if there is quite a bit of rubbish there, there's usually a bag amongst it, and you can fill up the bag, and and just gives you a sense of purpose at the end, and it makes you feel good. And so it's a win-win.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've recently announced that you're bringing a little SUP baby into the world, and congrats to you and Jeremy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good, and all the best for that to come. But has that altered your perspective a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been out. I've had a lot of freedom the last few years. Been able to travel and compete, and just do anything I wanted. And but this next stage it's going to be really exciting. Bringing a little kid into the world, and obviously, I want them. I don't know what it is yet, but obviously, I want to bring them into a world that's vibrant and healthy, and I want them to experience everything that I've been able to experience growing up. And Jeremy, my partner, he's from France, and he has a really good attitude as well. He's even better than me. He's always doing awesome things in regards to the environment and educating people, and I'd love to be around someone who's like that. So I feel really good about that. That he's going to be an awesome teacher and leader, and I think together, we're still going to try and continue our lives how it's been, like with traveling and competing and enjoying things. But we're just going to have a little rugrat towing along with us, and want them to see the world like we have, and
that's great. I think it's great that you're going to continue doing that and just continue your way, and just bring it up as how you want it to be brought up, which is great. But it's what we call the sprint round, and it's just a list of questions. You just fire away any answer that comes to your mind, whichever one comes first. Are you ready?
Okay.
One board for the rest of your life: a race up, surf up, foil, downwind, touring, or just a surfboard?
Oh my gosh. Can it be like a fun board, a fun surfboard?
Yes. It can be a fun surfboard. Warm or cold water to paddle in?
Warm.
Yeah. What's your favorite race that you've done?
Molokai. Even though it's hard.
Who's the best person to sup with?
Jeremy. Now, I'm getting him into it.
Nice. I see he's come from a bit of a lifeguard background as well.
Yeah. So he's a prone paddler, but he's
Nice.
pretty
Okay.
keen to get into the SUP side of things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was a new name in the sport, maybe, in racing.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. Yeah, he's super fit. I mean, he loves to train. Yeah. We'll see. Right now, he's been foiling a lot.
Best place to paddleboard?
Oh, Hawaii, sure.
And lastly, who inspires you?
Oh, lots of people. That's tough. Oh, so many people inspire me. Everyone that's doing stuff with their life. Initially it was Will Anadu because while I was paddling, I love his attitude and I love his love for the ocean and how he is with people. But there's so many people who inspire me. Lots of females,
Cool. And is there anything you want to share with the viewers before we go?
I just hope everyone's staying healthy and sane. I feel for you guys because I know I'm really lucky here living in Australia. We can still get out and surf and exercise, but it's a really crazy time, and I think it's only temporary and we'll get through it, and soon everything will be back to normal, hopefully soon. And but just try and keep active, and it's going to really help with staying sane while you're in lockdown.
Thanks so much for joining us, Terrene, and we'll look forward to following your progress in the year to come, and hopefully be back in the competitive scene next year. Yeah,
for sure. I don't know, I might not be missing out on too much having this baby this year, but I can't wait to see everyone again. And
Thank you for tuning in to Voices of SUP today. I really hope you enjoyed our chat with Terrene Black. It was fantastic to hear about all of her downwinding experiences and also the take 3 for the sea. So make sure every time you go to the beach, you pick up some trash, you take it home with you and recycle it, or make sure you dispose of it correctly. But thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Voices of SUP. Feel free to like or comment below and check out the pro tips from Terrene Black.